Ilia is as close to perfect as we maybe have like experienced before. His style is so well-rounded and so buttoned up and doesn't have a lot of holes to it. And then when you pair that with a lot of his physical attributes, like he has a good build for MMA. He's like not the shortest guy, but not the tallest, lankiest guy. He looks obviously strong. He has very good reactions. The style of striking that he does isn't quirky. What he does is super good and it's super efficient. And I think that it's like really, really impressive.
He comes in with, this cockiness, right? He comes in with the tattoos. He looks like a bad guy. He looks like a villain in a movie. And I think people underestimate his intelligence and how he is really playing chess from before the fight starts to after the fight, right? This kid, the things that he says, he knows exactly what buttons to push. He knows exactly what to say. This is as prepared of a fighter that I have seen in a very, very long time.
Biggest thing too is that you could be handsome, you could talk good, you could do all these things, but the number one thing you have to be able to do is be able to fight. And that's one thing that man can do.
Look, Ilia Topuria has shown that he can fight anyone, anywhere. And he has the look of one of those young, great champions that carry that swagger about themselves. They carry that confidence about themselves. They look and feel like the real deal, like people that we could be watching defend those belts for a long time.
Bro, I'd be lying to you to say if he wasn't good. He beat a guy that I had 3 cracks at and I couldn't figure it out. He went in there one time, and a lot of guys is gonna say, yeah, that was a hurt. And I understand, but Volk felt like he was good enough to go in there, and he did what he did. He still had to do what he do, Even when we talk about the road to the title, if we compare our records of my road to the title and his road to the title with strengths of like the opponents and stuff, like how strong or whatever rank it is what it is. People are gonna say, he had an easier path and blah blah blah, but he still had to win, and he still did it, and he still won. He still is the champion. He's a great fighter, You'd be dumb to not think that he is.
But Topuria's skills are very respected. And the 4 things that do matter in boxing, if I was to ask you between Topuria and Max, who's got better footwork? You're gonna have a hard time. Who's got better speed? You're gonna have a hard time. If I ask you about power, there does appear to be something special with Topuria. After all, he just knocked out a king of a division. Ilia Topuria doesn't beat you in nice and funny ways. He bludgeons you until you fall asleep against your will. There's nothing funny about that.
Those combinations that he likes to hit. He'll go boom, he'll go right hand, body, right hand, or he'll go body, right hand, so that should go back to the body, or he'll come up eventually to catch that uppercut to the chin. He has the thing that Ilia Topuria has that's really scary is just he has knockout power. And when somebody like that has knockout power, the fight makes it that much more dangerous.
Ilia is very, very good. He's very good everywhere, and he's very dangerous when he gets on the inside. His boxing and his combinations inside and in the pocket are second to none. Absolutely second to none. Now, I will say this, the exact same combination that Ilia Topuria knocked Alexander Volkanovski out with, he showed me this exact same combo a week before at the PI.
Teddy Atlas had made a comment on Ilia Topuria one time, and it was before Topuria beat Volkanovski. And he said that he'd never seen a boxer in MMA ever with as good a hands as Topuria, and he said, be real careful letting that guy get inside. It was a simple comment, but I stored it away and remembered.
What's fascinating to me about Ilia is how far he's gotten with only using a limited tool set. And he can wrestle. He has really good BJJ. He's shown that in the beginning of his career, but in the UFC, he's predominantly only shown his boxing calf kicks here and there and whatnot, but for the most part, he just punches people's lights out.
The way he attacked Volkanovski was not like something I'd seen before. Now, many will try to say Volk should have took more time after getting knocked out by Islam. Volk should have waited. He was primed to get knocked out. But dude, the first round, you could see that in Topuria, Volkanovski had recognized such a threat that he was almost afraid to engage. He was fighting so far on the outside because he knew that the moment he was in range, it was like not fighting in power. And the moment Topuria got close enough, he starched him, bro.
Well, yeah, obviously going to be disappointed at yourself because I can look at that and not taking anything away because Ilia is a great fighter. And let's see because the next Volkanovski is going to turn up. The real Volkanovski, I guarantee you that. And let's see if Ilia can handle it. So again, I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm not saying he can't. He's obviously got heavy hands. He's obviously got good skill. But I want him to be tested against the best version of myself or all the top guys and really prove himself. Where, again, great fighter.
After the 300 moment, the camera was on him, and the dude is just, he's him. He's himself, you know what I mean? He's an odd fella, I would say, people. I just noticed yesterday some people were tagging me on Instagram, on Twitter, that he commented on one of my Instagram posts saying, "Let's go, Max." I think he's a fan of me.
I saw that.
I think he's a fan of me, and I think he can't deny it. I think so deep down inside, he's really cheering for me, which is kind of weird, but he's an odd fella, man. He's an odd fella for sure.
If you want to come here and take this belt, just make sure that you are good everywhere, that your striking is on point, your wrestling is on point, your ground game is on point, your mental strength is on point. You have to be on point. You have to be the man. So I represented the evolution of the mixed martial arts because I'm on point.
I mean, this guy is the real deal. I had the pleasure of moving around with him while he was here down in South Florida. This kid's got real skills, and I mean real skills. He can box, he can grapple, he can kickbox, he can wrestle. I mean, he's not lying when he says he's an evolution of the game. I remember at one point, I truly felt that I was the evolution of the game, and I showed that. I was able to get in there. I was able to get that title, and I was able to defend it numerous times. And this kid, all signs point to go for him.
And I'm not sold on the idea that Ilia Topuria truly believe that all these guys are old, they're all done, and he's the new thing. I watched him start to convince himself and talk himself into it. But one thing that will change a guy's confidence, that will get him over the hump, and that will put him in the position that he's telling the world he's already in, is if you give him a world championship. So if you think you've seen impressive things from Ilia Topuria, I promise you, you haven't seen nothing yet.
Who's got the best fight IQ?
The best fight IQ? That's me.
Who's the best dressed?
Me, for sure.
Who has the best hands?
Me. I'm the best boxer in the UFC. There's no doubts about that.
He got power, he got speed, but he never fought me yet. So that's the beautiful thing, and he thinks he knows something. He thinks I see him say that he thinks he's gonna be the first one to put me out and blah blah. I mean, if that's what you need to get yourself to the fight, please keep telling yourself that all the way to October 26th. We see, man. I can't say too much. I'm excited that he says that kind of stuff because October 26th couldn't come soon enough. The time is flying by, and I can't wait to test him.